So I want to get your guys' reactions on this one, because y'all are going to be definitely like, what in the hell is this guy doing? I've got everything pulled apart here. I got one of the safety retainers out. You can see my purple wire hanging there. So it's this pin right here. So the fourth one up from this big one, or including this big one. 4 of them up is our pink wire on here, and then the purple wire right above that. So pink is your 12 volt supply, purple is your signal from your tap shifter. What am I doing? Making it factory. That's right. Now I've got a shit ton of like electrical harnesses now, spare stuff. This is the clock spring off the column swap I did on the black truck, because they cut a bunch of wires off of it originally, like you bastards. They're just a bunch of plugs, and they're readily accessible. You don't have to cut anything if you even looked. So one of the connectors has male pins on there. So and this is what I use to get out pins. Just a little, I don't know what you want to call it, baby diaper clothespin thing. So I just stick that in there because there's you could see little tabs that stick up to hold the clip in there, to hold the pin in there. So I just go in and push on against that pin, or that little plastic thing, and that should release enough to get the pin out. I've had good luck. It takes a little finagling sometimes with some of the pins, but I've had really good luck. That's how I did most of all my work, really. So without that sucker, I'm pretty well lost. I mean, these aren't strong enough to do it or something, you know. So it's got to be it's got to be something super fine. And so yeah, I know where it's at least. So, but anyway, where did I do with that pin already? It's in here somewhere, maybe, I don't know. So yeah, I'm sticking a pin in here, and then I will obviously tie my pink wire that I ran right here into this purple wire. That'll be my 12 volt supply, which I suppose I will run back out to the fuse box and tap into that ignition 3 wire. Just solder it in, be done. It's like, it's an extra wire that's run out there, but it's tapped into a factory connection via solder and a heat shrink, so we should be good to go there. We're also going to tap in that other ignition 3. There's 2 of them even on the LLY harness. That's this gray wire here, which was letter C, which is where the pink is, I believe. Or no, where this brown wire is. That's the ignition 3 voltage. But I guess there was another one or something. I'll have to look into that. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know what the hell that is. Huh. I gotta do some more looking before I even say anything more. But anyway, if this is the ignition 3 voltage, which from what I read online it was, I don't remember now, then I'll just tie it in with this brown wire, as well as that 12 volt, the 12 volt source that I need for the tap shifter. And then obviously, actually, I'm sorry, another wire will tap into this purple wire for the 12 volt, because this is already tapped into where the tap shifter is supposed to go on that plug out there. So this will tap into the, oh, there it is, the black and white wire with this pin. So this is not difficult. You have to have patience. You can't just rip wires out, because you'll damage the pins, or you'll end up ripping the wire out of the pin, and then you're royally pretty screwed, you know, because you have to go get some new pins or something. I don't know, but whatever you got to do. But this is my way. I love finagling with this little stuff. I know I can do it. It's easy. It's fun to me. So, and making it as factory as possible, where I'm not just, you know, oh yeah, I pulled this down, and I cut wires, and I hacked it, spliced into it with one of them fuse tap thingies. It's just ready to go now. Yeah, oh yeah. No, I want this plug and play, you know, and this literally is just plug in. Once it's soldered on, plug in and play. So, yeah. And one thing I forgot to mention in the last video is I'm able to use the LLY BCM. I haven't had any issues with it thus far. I guess once we get all this wired up, we'll see whether if the tap shifter goes through this in any shape, way, or form, if we have to use the LBZ one. But no codes, no nothing. Everything works in here other than the reverse lights, which I swapped the BCM. Again, still no reverse lights. So that's a problem. I do not believe reverse lights go anywhere through the column harness. So yeah, that's fun. So we get about 4 or 5 solders we need to make. Not a big deal. I can pop them out in 10-15 minutes, so if that. But and it'll just be plug and play. I had cut this again just because I wanted to run 12 volts through here, and I didn't want that going to the TCM. If it's not supposed to get 12 volts, obviously. So tapped in to the, oh, that one's this bottom one is the ignition 3 voltage, so I'll tap into that one with that gray wire, I believe is what is called for. So but yeah, easy peasy lemon squeezy. I'm lucky these pins worked, I tell you, because I've got, you know, there's a bunch of different pins on here, like these really, I think it's these no, what was it on here? Couldn't tell you now. It was out of these. Oh, it's all sticky with electrical tape goo. Where'd it go? Right there. I think it was those. Maybe. I think it was these pins. Female pins for the female side of the connector on there. So I've had all the pins. The only pin, I even have the large pins on there. I think that packet of pins I got is not sitting here. There it is. So the packet of pins I got from the dealership, they only had the large size pins, both male and female. Oops, sorry for the finger. So here's a large female and a large male. They only had those two. I had the part numbers for the small male and the small female, but they didn't have them. They said they don't even have a drawer for them. So, but I could find them right on Amazon, but I'd have to buy like a pack of something for 15 bucks, and I don't need that many. And when I thought about it, while I was at the dealer, while the guy was going to pick it up, I'm like, gee, you know, I wonder if that wiring harness has pins on it that I can steal and use for this. Sure enough, yeah. Some of the pins look like they're the right size. They are the right size, but the pin is a little bit different design. And even the ones I stuck in here out of one of the connectors on here, it had one extra tab. I'll show you here. I got a spare pin. So this is off that gray wire I cut. It don't help, does it? So there's no extra little tab hanging off the top of this one, but I do not, oh, maybe this one. Yeah, this one's got a spare little tab, that little tab right on the tip of my finger there. That tab sticking up, I had to cut that off, and luckily my big kind of clunky looking wire cutters was able to cut it down enough for it to slip right in and clip in. The under the hood, yes, somewhere maybe, I don't know. I couldn't find them, that's why I grabbed these ones. But anyway, just quick tips, little thingy-mabobs that you can use to help you. You know, I've done multiple swaps on multiple different things on both these trucks, and so I've got extra wiring harnesses and stuff. So for me, it's not a big deal to just, you know, rip out a wiring harness that I got spare laying around and, oh yeah, got a plug, got a pin, got a spare plug. Like one of these is for the door lock actuator. Well, 3 of them are for the door lock actuator, but one of these on the one inside the gray truck here, the LLY, the tab actually busted off, so I'm gonna try and swap that out one of these days here. So got to do that. And this is where having spare harnesses comes in handy. Like this is my courtesy light, and I'm gonna take that section of wire off of here and run it and tap it into the courtesy lights on the truck, so that way I have a rear courtesy light, and I'm gonna run it through the door bendy harness thingy there, and that's gonna be fun. But it's Nice to have stuff that's tapped in, soldered in, permanent, but placed through factory locations, run under here, nice and safe and secure. Just factory. I love factory. So, and better than factory. When you open this door and you get that blinding light, ooh, helps light up the back seat too. So, I suppose you can't really see it. So that'll help light up the back seat as well. So that'll be nice. And I'm just excited to get all this done and to just be done ripping the dash apart for this stuff. But this is the only 2 wires that I have to put in and tap in and all that stuff. So I figured I showed you guys what I got going on. It's B20 and 21 on this harness here. You can see purple and pink there right next to each other. And I gotta go in, it's a 4th and 5th wire up, boop, and then the one right above it, and they're nice and tight in there. So lucky that these pins just pop right in, so that is really nice. And alrighty guys, thanks for watching, God bless.